How's that?
Okay, it's not moving. Jim, we hear all the time about how bad meat is for us. Yet I go to the gym and people are talking about their diets or their food that they're eating, and a lot of people are on keto or carnivore and they look great. So, why could this be so bad for us?
Well, first of all, the absence of, we view being well as not being sick,
Yeah.
but you can still not be well, right, and not feel sick. And so
Okay.
I think it's an example of how we practice health reductionism, right? We treat the way people look in the gym, building muscle, being fit, losing weight, different than we treat your risk for cancer or your risk for heart disease, right? So although they might look great in the gym, in the locker room, what they're doing to their bodies when they eat, meat, and particularly processed meat, is not good. And we'll talk in a second about why exactly these foods cause these health problems. So processed meats, the World Health Organization, many other doctors organizations, have classified these as a cancer-causing food, right? And examples, we're all familiar with: bologna, hot dogs, salami, uh, bacon, sausage.
I mean, I got to tell you, back in the day,
Right, sure,
my mouth would be watering.
sure. And the reason that they increase your risk for chronic diseases, particularly cancer, there's a number of reasons. So number one is one of the things that's added to these meats is a compound called sodium nitrite. And when we cook, either in the preparation process or when we cook it to eat, those nitrites interact with some of the amino acids, which amino acids are strings of, or how what protein's made out of. They interact with those proteins and they create compounds called nitrosamines, which can damage DNA and cause, uh, which predispose you to cancer. They also they've got a ton of salt, which increases your risk for heart disease, high blood pressure. One of the number one sources of saturated fat, again, increases cholesterol, risk for heart disease. Those same nitrites can actually damage the pancreas, or cells in our pancreas that make insulin,
Oh,
predispose us to diabetes. And the other thing, from a cancer risk standpoint, when we cure foods with smoke, for example, this smoked bacon,
yeah.
that creates a whole class of compounds called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which have been shown to cause cancer. When we cook meat at a high temperature, when you throw these hot dogs on a grill, right, or the sausages on a grill, or you roast them at a high heat in the oven, it creates another family of compounds called heterocyclic amines, which again cause cancer. So there's a lot of reasons
Yeah.
why we really shouldn't be eating these process, especially these processed meats.
A huge laundry list.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, with all of that, now that we know that, I actually have a sausage
Oh wow.
that will not have all of those health risks. Has a great texture, great flavor. I think it has a great
Yeah.
flavor. So let's get cooking, okay?
Yeah.
All
Can't
right.
wait.
I'm so excited to share with you this recipe. It's like a healthier version of a sausage. And the first ingredient, the main ingredient really, is vital wheat gluten. And it's vital wheat gluten, or gluten, is actually the main protein in wheat. And a fun fact, when I started making this
Hmm.
recipe, or, kind of making some mock meats, if you will,
Hmm.
um, I used to take, or many people used to take just whole wheat and make like a dough ball.
Hmm.
And then we would have to get that gluten, right? We'd have to put it under running water
Right.
and wash away the
Oh
starch.
right.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah. That sounds
labor
kind of
and
painful, right? Yeah.
but we had to get that gluten.
Right.
So, you had to take this dough ball and wash it under, or rinse it
Right.
underwater for like 45 minutes,
Right.
because it took that long to get the starch off of the
Right.
ball,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And so once the water became clear, indicating the starch was gone, then you had this glutinous ball that you could work with. Now, food companies have made that easier for us,
Sure.
and they have done it in their own in their own factories, and now you can just buy Vital Wheat gluten.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
so Vital Wheat gluten, it gives it that texture that we're looking for, but it doesn't have any flavor. And so you want to make sure you really flavor this up. So what we're going to do is use that gluten, and we're going to flavor it up with a bunch of spices, fennel seed being the key here,
Right.
of course, right? So we're going to use some nutritional yeast, which is going to give a little bit cheesy, nutty flavor. It really, you won't taste the cheesy, nutty, but it really adds to it. We're also going to add some white beans. That's going to help everything stick together as well, and add a little bit of fiber and a little bit more protein.
And so we got flavor, fiber, 2 of your 3 favorite F words.
That's right. Okay, good call. Good call. Good call. Veg broth and a little bit of tomato paste.
Better be quiet before we hear the other
Please
one, right?
do. Yes. Please do. First, we're going to take those white beans, and you can use cannellini beans, white navy beans, whatever you want, and mash them up with either a fork or a potato masher would be good, or just your hands. And if you warm the beans a little bit first, they become even, softer, of course, a little bit easier to mash. But shoot, sit here and do it. Doesn't take hardly any time or any effort, really. So we've got the mashed up beans, and I don't mash them all up just because I kind of want to see them in there, but whatever, you do you. All right, now we're going to add in our Vital Wheat gluten. This is 1.25 cups, and that is 1 can of cooked beans, so that's 14 ounces, 1.5 cups. Now we're going to add in our spices. There's some red pepper in there as well for just a little bit of a kick. This is our nutritional yeast. This is, you can do soy sauce or, Bragg's aminos. This is coconut aminos. Let me get this, just a little bit of tomato paste as well. It's really going to add some nice savoriness. And finally, 1 cup of the vegetable broth. Now you get to really have fun. This is where we get to play with our food. And essentially, we're going to create another dough ball. Get in there. Now you don't want to over knead it because you don't want this to be too dense, but you're going to knead this for a while. And I will tell you, so to me, this, and I'm glad this is happening, this is a little bit too wet. So don't be afraid to add a little bit more Vital Wheat gluten if you need it. Sometimes it gets a little dry, and maybe you add just a little bit more broth. But so right now, it's just, it just happens. Recipes, they kind of vary from time to time, right? So you just play with it. Don't be afraid. And we're going to get in there and create a little bit more dense mixture. Because what we essentially want to do is take this mixture and mold it into our sausages, right? You want it to obviously have that same shape. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, perfect, perfect. This is exactly what you want. You want the mixture to take shape in your hand. So if you take a little ball of it, just gently squeeze it, and it retains that shape of your fingers, essentially, then you know you're there. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to, actually, let me just do one for you right now. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have a steaming apparatus ready to go that can withstand 45 minutes of steaming. And we have that going right now. And you're going to essentially just take this mixture, this ball of wheat gluten, and cut it right in half with your hands, and then cut each half in half. Cut each half in half again. So you have 4 sausages. This will serve 4. And I'm going to put this right behind me. I have 4 sheets of foil here. Put that right over there. Grab one. Now I just put the sausage right on the foil. If you choose to use parchment paper to line that, that's totally fine too. But I have found that if you do use the parchment paper down first because you don't want your food right on the aluminum foil, it doesn't stick. The shape does not stay as well, and I think it's because it doesn't have a tight mold. Okay, so we've got a sausage link, if you will. You put that right on your corner. Roll it up. Does not have to be perfect. And then wrap those ends nice and tight. You have a sausage. Then we're going to put that into our steaming apparatus. It cooks, steams for 45 minutes. And then we're going to have our sausage. All right, 45 minutes, time's up, let's eat.
I can't wait. All right, so let me put one of these hot boys on your plate there.
Yeah. And be careful because it is, woo, and then you just unwrap the ends.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tamale.
Kind of, yeah. And, okay. How can you, that's...
I don't have any fingertips left.
It's, you know, you have to work at these a little bit, but they are worth it. Although we could just wait for them to cool down.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. There we go.
You got it? There you go. And look at that. And it snaps into place.
Yeah.
Oh, I really wrapped these.
I think we need I think we need a bigger bun though.
Hey, that's all right though.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so how do you like to, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm going to start with a little mustard.
You see, it's because my hands are,
A little mustard.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going for the mustard also.
A little sauerkraut. Now this sauerkraut has this has prebiotics or probiotics in it, right?
Yeah.
This is, and when you're buying sauerkraut to get the most benefits, so you get those live bacteria for your gut microbiome, you have to get in the refrigerated section, right? You don't want to get the ones off the counter.
Not the shelf stable.
Yeah, gotcha.
Always going to be refrigerated. I'm going straight for these white onions. Okay.
I'll switch with you.
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
Because you know that I love my kraut.
Yep.
It's that German me. All right. Ready?
Well,
your pickles.
Let me just use. Can I borrow this?
Yeah, fine.
All right. There.
It's a good thing I cut those so they fit on.
That's right.
Giving me all kinds of trouble when we were prepping this thing.
All right.
All right.
This isn't going to fit in my mouth, I'm afraid.
Well, only one way to find out.
I may have to get a knife.
It's super messy and super delicious.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
It's so good.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
You bring this to a barbecue, whatever.
They won't know. People won't know. Yeah, and sometimes I'll even, what I'll do is I can cut these up into like little coin sizes, like maybe a ½ inch or so, and give them a real quick sear in a skillet. You can throw it into pasta. You can grind it up.
Wow.
Crumble it up, I should say.
Yeah.
You can put it into, you make tacos out of it.
Oh, wow.
So there's a ton of things you can do with these sausages.
Well, I just want to eat mine right now.
Well, you keep doing that, and I am going to let everyone know that they can embark on their own plant-based journey with a community who cares, just like us. For just $1 a day, you can join the Center for Plant-Based Living's membership and gain access to a huge library of cooking classes, videos, recipes, all that business. We have live interactive cooking classes, and you also get a monthly support call and even some time with the doc quarterly. Our supportive community ensures that you are never alone in your quest for better health. And visit us now at thedocandchef.com and start your membership. And you can even gift it now to someone who really needs the support as well. Yeah?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, we're getting back to eating.
All right.
See ya.
All right.